peaceful and quiet country, beautiful. So it's been a really delighted experience.
The Spanish national, who will be leaving for Madrid this month, said he was not only at the State House to say goodbye to the Vice President, but to also introduce his new colleague who has been working with Gambega for the past 11 years.
Gambega being a corporate institution, right, will follow a corporate vision. And a corporate vision is to enhance and sustain growth, and that will make Gambega the #1 bottling company in Gambia, and also to recognize Gambega as one of the leading companies in Gambia.
Gambega's new country manager, Uchen Allen, revealed his plans for the country, particularly the women.
We're going to follow the same policy as a corporate institutions, and see and ways and means that we can add on. Now, Gambega has done a lot when it comes to corporate social responsibilities, and this year we're planning to give a whole container of medical facilities, and there is something on the pipeline that I would like to share with you. That is the 5x20. The 5x20 is a program that will develop women entrepreneurship. The 5 is like 5 million people by the year 2020. Right. 5 million women entrepreneurship for the year 2020. And it's something that I will bring to Gambia, and very soon we'll kickstart a project where we'll get an enabling environment for women to be their own owners of their own business.
The Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Dr. Aja Aissatou Saidi, commended Gambega Company Limited for complementing the efforts of the government by creating job opportunities for Gambian youths. Dr. Njai Saidi further hailed the Coca-Cola Company for maintaining the quality of their products and for fulfilling what she called their corporate social responsibilities by sharing part of their profits with the Gambian people. Madam Njai Saidi assured Gambia government's continued commitment to providing the enabling environment for businesses to operate. Mama J, GRTS.
And to news just in, the general public is hereby informed that His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, will proceed on his annual leave with effect from Monday, 26 August 2013 for a period of 25 working days. His Excellency the President is to resume duties on Monday, 7th October 2013. The judiciary, in partnership with human rights advocates and the Commonwealth Office, has been applying the finishing touches to a document that will pave the way for the establishment of the country's maiden National Human Rights Institute. The document, validated on Wednesday, now awaits parliamentary endorsement. Modou Bajan reports.
Between the Ministry of Justice and the Commonwealth. As Solicitor General Basiru Mahoney explains, the Center will serve as an independent body dealing with human rights matters, as well act as an advisory institute to government. Whilst urging all parties to strive for the attainment of this vital institution, the Solicitor General outlined some of the benefits of a human rights establishment in the country.
The National Human Rights Institution will be seen as an independent body which will be responsible for dealing with human rights matters, and as a special advisory body to the government on human rights matters. I therefore implore everyone to keep striving forward with their efforts in the establishment of the final bill and the establishment of the Gambia's National Human Rights Institution, with the aim for the Gambia to achieve the A status, which is coveted by all countries establishing their national human rights institutions.
The acting head of human rights at the Commonwealth Secretariat, Advocate Karen Mackenzie, emphasized the necessity for a national independent human rights institution. She stated that the creation of such will provide a viable avenue for the citizenry to lodge their complaints on human rights and other violations. The two-day convergence attracted participants from a cross-section of human rights institutions and campaigners. These include the Acting Director of Human Rights at the Office of the Ombudsman, Lamin Bondi, who stated that the institution will be tasked to look into several issues of human rights such as press freedom.
It will look into the issue of freedom of press. It will look into the issue of going into detention centers, prisons, to look into people's human rights issues where it is violated. The Commission will make sure that it looks into that, investigates, make recommendations.
The Gambia government will in many ways benefit from this initiative, as Advocate Karen Mackenzie reveals, explaining that it will serve as an advisory body to the government. She further mentioned that the National Human Rights Institute will be utilized as a means of ensuring government's compliance with ratified international conventions in its law-making process.
A National Human Rights Institution also has the remit of advising government where there are human rights concerns. It also can make contributions to draft legislation that is passing through Parliament, ensuring that those bills are in compliance with international human rights obligations which the Gambia has ratified as a country. So ultimately, such an institution will give credibility to the human rights issues that need to be addressed in a country.
The Gambia, despite being mainland Africa's smallest country, is undoubtedly one of the most stable countries in the sub-region. Setting up a National Human Rights Institute could significantly play in uplifting the country's human rights records in line with the Paris Principles. Reporting for the news, I am Modu Bajan.
Few unnamed schools have come under scrutiny for what education authorities say was the unlawful practice of requesting registration fees from parents in conflict with the new education policy. This revelation was made during a meeting between education officials, school heads and parents. Fatu Jassi picks up the rest of that story.
Before schools across the country reopen for another academic year, and officials of the Basic and Secondary Education Ministry convened this meeting with head of schools and parents to discuss issues affecting schools, most especially the lower basic schools. After a series of sensitization campaigns by stakeholders on the issue of unnecessary school levies, officials during this meeting revealed that a few head teachers are caught being involved in illegally requesting cash from parents for the registration of their children into primary school. An action officials condemn and identify as unlawful and against the education's policy, especially now that education is free for primary school-going children.
We have met with head teachers. We have met with the conference of principals. We have even written memos to give out the guidelines and to tell them the consequences of not doing what we expect them to do. That is not charging. Yet there are a few that think they can bend the rules and do it their own way, and we are going to take drastic action.
It is unfortunate that some parents happen to be victims of this act. Ndaiko Cham is one of the parents who was reportedly asked to pay $400. Failure to do so will see her child sent home and will also not be promoted to grade 1. Daba Fall and Babu Karba, also parents, narrated a similar story, asked to pay an amount of $800 with our receipts. They said they were not aware of the abolition of school levies. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Babukar Boy, made it clear that his ministry is working with youth groups like NAPSA and Education for All campaign network to make sure this matter is addressed. Inasmuch as stakeholders have a role to play in creating awareness on the matter, parents too should have a responsibility to make sure they are informed about issues affecting their children's education.
During the dialogue with the President's dialogue with the People's Talk, the message was sent around. Some parents didn't even know that it was said. And in every meeting that was held from Farafenye right down to Banjul, the message was sent to all parents and indeed the whole population. Apart from that, we engaged the Education for All campaign network to go around to sensitize communities and parents. We used the Education Forum. We used GRTs very well, even outside the Education Forum. We used the newspapers. We used the radio for those that do not have access to TV. Yet there are some that are saying we didn't even know that we should not have paid.
Those head teachers and nursery schools involved, according to Minister Fai, will face the full force of the law, for such illegal actions may deter the country's strive for a free education for all by 2015.
The head teachers that are affected are going to be sent out of the system. They are going to refund the monies. And the nursery schools that connived with them will be closed down. Because if you are if you are able to do work